What review gear do I still use? The proof of the pudding is in the eating, and if I say so myself, my apple and rhubarb crumble proves itself very nicely every time I make it. So I could say similar about audio equipment. The proof of the equipment is in the listening. Well, of course, but also in the functionality. Any equipment I use has to sound good and give me the functions I need, either for listening for pleasure, my YouTube videos, or of course for producing my irritating unboxing music. Album out later this year. I know I keep saying that, but I'm very close now. Consider yourself warned. Anyway, the thought came to me that of the quite a few items I've reviewed in my channel over the last year or so, I still use some of them. Somehow they got into one or other of my systems when I was making my review, and they haven't left. Not really a conscious decision, but they proved themselves without me realising. So, in this video I'm going to run through the review equipment that I still use, and will probably continue to use. I think you can take these as genuine recommendations. Not that I don't like the other items I've reviewed, or that I wouldn't recommend them. I just don't find myself using them, which is absolutely not a disrecommendation. Different people have different needs, and I don't think I would qualify myself as any kind of typical user. Now, an elephant. It isn't in my room because I couldn't get it through the door. How much do I get paid for my reviews? Am I told what to say? Do the manufacturers get to approve my videos before publication? I think that's 3 elephants. Well, I don't know how other audio reviews work, but I do know that in general, paid reviews are a thing. I've heard that $20 per 1,000 views isn't unrealistic, even for quite a small channel. And that's way more than I get from ad revenue. I do not get paid for my reviews. When someone offers me $1,000, no, 1,000 Great British pounds, I might change my tune. But for smallish amounts, it isn't worth the bother. And it would be like having a job and a boss. And I haven't had a proper job since 1986, and I very much doubt I would like it. So, I do not get paid for my reviews. Am I told what to say? Absolutely not. I wouldn't rule out at some point in the future having a sponsor's message, but if and when I do, it will be very clearly identified as such, and it won't be connected with the topic of the video. Do manufacturers get approval? Absolutely not. Again, it would be like having a boss who I have to suck up to. No thanks. So what do I get from my reviews? I get the equipment free. Who doesn't like free stuff? This is why my review videos all have a banner or a card that says there is a paid promotion. YouTube's terms are that if I receive anything of value, I have to declare a paid promotion. You might consider whether other audio reviewers always play by the rules. Also, I get a share of the ad revenue, and I think that YouTube viewers understand that. Also, there may be an affiliate link in the description for the item I'm reviewing, as well as other affiliate links for products I use. I can tell you that this is barely worth doing. If I was into substance abuse, I could probably buy a couple of packets of fags every month. And that's it, nothing more to declare. If I took the trouble to work out the numbers, I suspect I'd find that I'm working for less than minimum wage. But hey, I enjoy what I do, so I'm not going to let that worry me. So, I'm going to start with the small but fairly mighty Fosi V3. I have to add a general disclaimer that it's common that the output of this and similar power amps is not measured as average power, which is often called RMS power, but in some more flattering way. So the figures you see may be wow-inducing, but don't get too excited. That said, around the time the Fosi arrived, I was in the process of setting up a second production system. So I have one system for my videos, which I consider my work, and another system for my music, which I consider my hobby. Work-life balance kind of thing. I recommend it. Anyway, the Fosi V3 is perfect for driving my vintage B&W DM100 speakers, which I like to call near-field monitors. Others might disparage them as bookshelf loudspeakers. But in combination, the V3 and my DM100s get the job done. I find mixing on this combination easy to the level of my ability. And I normally find that my mixes sound good to me on other systems. I doubt if I'll be getting my Grammy anytime soon, But if anything's holding me back, it's my ability, not the amp and speakers. Moving on to, well, moving a short distance, to the Fosi V3 Mono, of which I have a pair. Monoblocks, you might call them. But since I have them in the configuration with a single power supply, well, who's bothered? I'm not. I use them to drive my Yamaha NS10M Studios, which are indeed genuine near-field monitors. I previously used a Quad 306, which, if I'm counting correctly, I've had for something like 40 years, and I've used it almost every day. But seeing as the Fosis had arrived and my 306 is very advanced in age and has never been recapped or otherwise serviced, well, it's time for a change, and the 306 can go on eBay, where I'm sure it will be bought by a genuine enthusiast who will give it the TLC it deserves. Oh, maybe before that I'll hook it up through my Fosi LC30 switcher, so I can do a simple A/B test, which I think will be a test of my ears and perception more than anything else. Shall I video this? Moving on. As regular viewers of this channel will know, I have a favourite pair of headphones that I never identify. Reason being they're not made anymore and I want to get a spare pair from eBay. A, I don't want more competition. B, I don't want to push the price up. C, hey, I like them. Or perhaps more accurately, I'm used to them and my ears have adapted. That would be a topic for another video. But the but is that they're big, which is inconvenient when I'm out and about. Fortunately, loads of people have big headphones these days, so I'm not stared at as much as I used to be. But having tested a number of earbuds and IEMs, I realised how much more convenient the very much smaller size is. For example, when I take the coach to London. So I'm not going to give you any definitives here, but I do find myself using my Creative or Varna Ace 2s as a good compromise between convenience, sound quality and comfort with the right ear tips. Are they the best earbuds in the world? I don't know. I'll need a manufacturer or distributor to send me a pair that are better. And when they do, then of course I'll give you my review. IEMs, in-ear monitors, like we see our favourite bands and artists using on stage. Why they've penetrated into the hi-fi market I don't really know, but I can guess that the larger size than earbuds makes room for more gubbins inside and maybe higher quality drivers. My IEM journey started with a mid-range pair of Mackies, Mackie being a noted brand in the home studio market. Why did I want them? To record novelty covers for TikTok. I kid you not. Why would I want to do that? Good reasons, but I'll save that for another video. But anyway, I found the Mackies adequate for my purpose, but I wouldn't have wanted to use them for pleasure. But when I came to review earbuds and IEMs, I realised what an enormous difference the ear tips make. I really do need to investigate ear tips thoroughly. For the moment, I'd like to tell you which are my favourite brand of ear tips. Problem, none of those that I have any brand or identification on them. I've mixed them up so much during my testing that I really don't know which is which. Anyway, I had the opportunity to try both the Simgot EM6L and Questyle NHM12. I like them both, but until I found my perfect ear tips and have multiple pairs of them, it's a bit too fiddly to try any kind of A/B test. What I will say though about earbuds and in-ear monitors is that when I'm out and about, I worry about losing a Bluetooth earbud or the charging case. But since an IEM is tied to my phone, no such issue. I'll give a quick mention that with an IEM, I'll need a DAC stroke headphone amplifier. I can use the £9 Apple version with my vintage iPhone 11, or, fabuloso, the Questyle NMH12 plugs straight into the lightning connector. The NMH12 has since been updated to the 15 with a USB-C connector, so welcome to the modern world. It comes with a mini jack cable, too, for old-timers. Now, a couple of honourable mentions. I use the Arylic B50 SE in my boudoir system to drive my vintage Sonab OA5s, and the Fosi SK02 as a headphone amplifier. Not every day, but often enough to include them in my list here. I'm going to finish off with a couple of pro items. Firstly, my YellowTec Mica mic arm. Okay, there it is. My monitor's getting in the way. Let's just put that back there. A little tweak. Okay. Honestly, I don't know how I put up with a merely adequate mic arm for so long. The Mika is just so much better, and I would definitely recommend it to any YouTuber. Affiliate link in the description. No, it's fiendishly expensive, but I'd recommend it anyway. Affiliate link or not. The last item is a bit of an odd one. It's just the kind of thing a producer would consider for their home recording studio or your pro recording studio. But I could see a deep dive audio enthusiast wanting to play with it too. It's the Freqport Freqtube, which is a hardware box with 4 vacuum tubes inside. It connects to digital audio workstation software via USB-C and runs as a plug-in. Other than production, what the tube-loving audio enthusiast would get from this is the ability to play around with many of the operating parameters of the tubes, which normally would be under the tight control of the designer. Like things warm, dial up the warmth, play with the harmonics, up the drive. Oh, and there are 2 pairs of different tubes, so you have inbuilt tube rolling. For myself, I prefer clean audio on the output side, and you'll notice I haven't included any other tube equipment in this video. But for my original recordings, particularly vocals, there's something about real tubes that I just can't find in plug-in emulations. Okay, that's it. These are the items I've reviewed over the last year or so that I still use now, many of them daily. Not to say that the other things I've reviewed are bad in any way, they're just more suitable for different types of audio enthusiast. See you soon.